Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Fan Movie Fights. I am your judge and host, Chris Day, and I have here today. We have a very fun Star Wars pre-fight, because with the movie Rogue One coming out this Friday. By the time we have this, it will be up on every Wednesday. I have Star Wars coming up this Friday. Rogue One. I think we're all excited. However, because I work at a theater, so I get to do that. So it's Wednesday. By the time I'm actually going to see it, a little bit tonight, because I am a manager of distribution for that. So I'll see it tonight. But talking Star Wars today, we're having our first Star Wars movie fights, and today I have two fighters. First up, he is the host of the movie fan trivia movie Schmoedown that I am on. And he is actually one of the kindest people I've ever talked to, and he's one of the most badass dudes who calls himself the unofficial Harloff. We have Chris Dohmen.
How's it going, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing very well. I had a day off, but that won't last long once Rogue One comes out, because I'll be spending all my time in the theater, obviously.
Yeah. You're a little jealous I get to see early for work.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it's going to be really busy because I got to work that Thursday too. And that's going to be like the funnest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And my other competitor is my partner in crime over at Chris and Matt on Movies. Go check us out. This is where the video will be too. But he is also my crime partner in crime. He is the Robin to my Batman. He also looks like 12-year-old. He's technically Spider-Man. Matt Beer, what's going on, man?
Nothing much.
Alrighty. So you gentlemen know the rules. What we're going to do is, since this is just you two today, we're going to do a little rule. So you each are going to give your arguments, and you're going to talk about this. We're going to try to get it under an hour to an hour and 15. We're going to try to see where we can do on that. We're going to try for each argument, give your best definition of why it's the best it could be, and we'll move on from that. And also, since it's just you two right now, if the best opportunity, so if it's like a 5 rounds, and if one of you is ahead by say 2 or cannot catch up after 5, we'll call that a knockout. If it's in the speed round, then we'll see where we're going. We'll go into the speed round if you two are tied up. So are you guys ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's fight. Here we go. Round 1. What is the most important Star Wars character of all time? Chris, I'll just give you first, and Matt, I'll give you the next question first up. So, Chris, go ahead. What is the most important Star Wars character of all time?
The most important character to Star Wars is none other than Anakin Skywalker, because he is the most pivotal role of both the prequel and original trilogies, and all of the consequences of his actions in said trilogies are playing out in every spin-off, in every sequel. Everything that happens in the world of Star Wars always comes back to Anakin, who is the chosen one.
Alrighty, is that it for you for that then?
For starters, yeah.
Alrighty. All right, Matt, you have the floor, my friend. Your turn.
All right. So when I look at most important character, I don't just think about the movies. I also think about real life, how it could impact real people's lives too. And yes, Anakin is very pivotal in all the movies. But to me, as far as all the movies go, the most important character, I believe, right now is Rey. Now, go all around town. Look at Halloween. I mean, yeah, there were some Ghostbusters walking around, but every little girl, and even girls around 10, 11 years old, were dressed up as Rey. This is a character that, women could look up to, which doesn't happen very often, because you get these characters that are supposed to be the cocky, pretty little girl, sometimes slutty even, and that's how you're supposed to succeed in life. That's how it was. But now, you got Rey. She's a strong character. She can take care of herself. She almost and could have easily killed Kylo Ren, right after she just heard the magical word Force. But it's someone you could look up to, not just as a girl, but a man too, as far as who you want to be as a person in life, So that's why I went with Rey.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have 2 rebuttals. So we're going to have a 20-second rebuttal, and then we're going to have a 10-second rebuttal. So, Chris, 20 seconds on the clock Now, go.
The problem with Rey is that she is just too timely for right now. The Anakin / Vader makes a more compelling character because he has stood the test of time as a Star Wars character. Your argument is only valid when you just use today's reference. And plus, if you want more of great Anakin and how he's a great role model, look to the Clone Wars. Look to the novels.
Time. Alrighty.
Okay.
And Matt, your 20-second rebuttal now.
All right, if we're going to talk about Anakin, let's look, like you mentioned, Attack the Clones. He, just because of George Lucas, his character almost ruined Star Wars as a whole just because of how he was, in the movies, how he acted. He was a child. He was whiny. He's not someone you could look up to as, someone else. Rey is.
Time. Alrighty, so we're going to do 10 seconds now. Chris, 10 seconds, go.
That was a result of bad writing. The problem with Rey is that she's more of a Mary Sue than Anakin is. Anakin is a more fleshed out character than Rey is.
Okay. Alrighty, Matt, now.
Okay. Yeah, she's a time, she hasn't been in it very often. And I guess you could say she's a Mary Sue, but Sand.
Time.
Okay, done. I don't know. So
Okay. So I heard enough.
Sand.
So I heard enough. All right. So this is a tough one. But what you said, Matt, this is why I'm giving the point to Dohem. Because
Was it Sand?
I heard when you said the first rebuttal, I was on page with you. I was on board with you. I think when you tried to tell me, like in the 20 and 10-second rebuttals, I kind of went towards Chris's side when you were telling me, especially with the last 10 seconds rebuttal, which was amazing, by the way. I kind of got to give the point to Dohem because I think I got his understanding in the 10-second, 20-second rebuttal a lot more. So, Chris, I'm giving the first point to you.
Thank you. But, Beer, that was a great choice.
Yeah, I was caught off guard with the 20 and 10-second thing, so I was like trying to think of something to sum it up with that real quick.
Hard the next three.
Yeah, that's why I said
a little harder with the next.
Well, that's why, Beer, just be glad Matt Kearns ain't here.
Oh, yeah. He actually, I asked him, he turned me down. Surprisingly.
Well, he's getting ready for the Cry Fest against Case.
Oh.
I think that is why. And also, I've also got to get ready for that classic movie fights, before we get into it, guys, we're going to give a little speech or something. We are going to be recording Friday the classic movie fights, which is even though I'm the judge, I'm going to be in it. I am one of the biggest classic movie guys, so I will be competing against the Queen of Schmoedown herself, Jen Kemp, and we're trying to get one more person, and when we do, we'll have that up to you guys by Christmas. Chris, I believe, is going to do the fact checker, and Matt is going to host. Is that right, Chris?
That is right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that on Christmas Day for that. Alrighty, so let's get into the second one. So the question for this one I'm going to give you guys is, what is the moment in Star Wars history that will be remembered in the next 20-odd years? So, Matt, I'm going to go to you first since you gave me the last one.
Okay, so when you think of Star Wars, what's the one thing you remember and will always remember from Star Wars? Luke, I am your father. That is going to be remembered within the next 20 years easily. It's already probably the greatest twist in any movie ever. It's also, you don't even have to see the movies and that line. So that's why I'm choosing Luke, I am your father.
Okay, Chris, to you.
First off, the line is no, I'm your father. Second off, the correct answer is actually the death of Han Solo, because it is one of the prime examples of how to botch what's supposed to be a great scene. You have a scene that has a lot of great tension, a lot of great background noise, but the problem is it pays too much homage, and this could be a great example to show future generations how to not screw up a big moment in a film.
Okay. All right, Matt. Well, 26 rebuttal and go.
Okay, so yeah, it wasn't, handled correctly, but I don't think that's going to be remembered just because it's poorly handled. If that scene's going to be remembered for anything, it's going to be remembered because it's the death of Han Solo. But with No, I Am Your Father, to clarify, it's, like I said, the greatest twist ever. Okay.
Alrighty. All right, Chris, 20 seconds and go.
We live in a day and age where people focus more on the negative than the positive, and if people only remember the positive of the greatest twist of all time versus one of the worst handled movie deaths of all time, unfortunately, people are going to remember that awful bit rather than the good stuff, which is why people will only remember Sand from Attack of the Clones and not the awesome Jedi battle at the end.
Time. Alrighty, 10-second rebuttal. Matt, and go.
All right. Well, I'll give you a prime example of why I don't think it's going to be remembered for a bad scene. Still, going into the theater, that still surprised everybody. I think out of anything, that scene would be remembered for goodness. I guess.
Alrighty. Matt, okay, Chris, 10 seconds and go.
This is for me personally. Han Solo is one of the most iconic characters of all time. The fact they gave him such a rushed death is unforgivable to most fans.
Time. Okay. I'm going to give the point to Matt, and here's the reason why. I was on board with you from where you told me, and then the 20-second. I think the 10-second, I think you kind of gave him the advantage, if you could hear me a little bit. Where, as Matt, I think he really got that more in the where he took, like, where he had a problem with the last one with the 20-second and the 10-second. I think he got that more. And I'm a big Han Solo fan. I was shocked as well. I understood why they killed the character. And I'm on that, but as a personal just fight, I think Matt gets the point. So I'm going to go 1-1 for Matt. So we're going to move on to the next round. What we're going to do here is, because this is going to be a little tougher, because we're going to kind of do a speed round for these two because it's a tougher question. So what am I going to do is, when I say at the very end of a sentence, the first person to give the answer for the movie gets the movie, and then the person who doesn't has to pick another one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say the first question, and you guys got to give me one of the answer. So here we go. Best Star Wars film.
Empire.
Go.
Empire.
I heard Chris first, Matt. So Chris, you get Empire. Matt, what do you pick?
I'll pick Star Wars, aka A New Hope.
That is what I call it. I don't call it A New Hope. I call it Star Wars. So, alrighty. So I'm going to give Chris this one first. So Chris, go ahead. Empire Strikes Back. Make me proud.
Empire Strikes Back is the best of the Star Wars films because what it can do that no other Star Wars film has done yet is tell more than one story within the story of the film and make it work very well. Because first off, you have Luke Skywalker going to Dagobah, going to learn more about the Force and learning about being a Jedi. Then you have Han and Leia, who are becoming more romantically involved, who are starting to fall in love. And the third story is Darth Vader on the revenge trip from hell. And the fact that Irvin Kershner and Lawrence Kasdan tie all three of these stories so brilliantly. And the fact they're so intertwined and interconnected, that's why it's the best.
Alrighty. Matt, take it away, my friend.
Okay. So this movie started the entire saga, which now is going to have one movie every year. And we also get to learn about Vader and how, he was so, I guess, ominous and mysterious. And just a lot of the movie was mysterious, but it still kept you into the film. Yay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, good job, buddy. All right. So 20-second rebuttal for Chris. Go.
In addition to the story elements that I said about Empire, it also had a much better score than the original film. It had much better visual effects than the original film. And, of course, one of the greatest movie twists of all time. Yeah, sorry, beer. I kind of did just take this and run with it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Time. All right. Try the best you can do. Right in 20-second rebuttal. Go.
All right. So let's just put it this way. Without Star Wars, there's no Empire. And yeah.
He kind of got you in a little bend there, Dohmen. Without Star Wars, there would never be Empire.
So, yeah. Explain how they can make this movie without Star Wars, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my best.
10-second rebuttal. Go.
One word. Yoda.
Oh. All right, Matt. 10-second rebuttal. Go.
All right. If you don't have Star Wars, then the beginning of Empire and the whole movie gets real confusing because you don't know who they are because, it makes you assume you know who the characters are.
Alrighty. Matt, you
This
came
is
back
tough.
a lot. So I got to think about what I really wanted to hear from you, Matt, was I know you said the one thing that sold me because I almost gave it to Chris, and I haven't chose who I'm picking though. And here's the reason why. I kind of wanted to hear you say this was a movie that changed cinema forever. This movie did change cinema. This movie did change Hollywood. We all know Jaws did change the summer blockbuster, but Star Wars was the movie that changed that. As for Chris, I think he really understood and he told the reasons why he did. But I think with your 20-second rebuttals and your 10-6, I think you came back a little more. So unfortunately, Chris, I'm going to give the point to Matt. I think his 20-second and 10-second rebuttal came really close, and I think he kind of took you the advantage, even though I'm 100% with you. I think his rebuttals came back for him in the point, so Matt gets the point.
Barry, stop messing with the timeline. I should have lost. Okay.
Really? Okay. Do you want to give the point to Chris?
No, I'll take the point. I'm just surprised.
I
Okay.
mean, but here's the
I'll
thing.
take
I
it.
think you gave the 20-second, 10-second rebuttal a lot better, and he did, but I was completely sold by him what he said. Without Star Wars, there would never be an Empire. Your rebuttals gave me. I think I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. But, Chris, do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, Matt, you gave the 10-second rebuttal and 20-second rebuttal a lot more than you did, and I respect what you did. I love Chris. Chris did, but I think he handled that better. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. All right, so let's move into what right now. We're at 2-1. Chris, you got to get the next two questions to tie up the game. And if you guys do tie, then we are going into the speed round with this next fight. But Chris, I mean, if he gets the next point, you have got to give me your all in the very last question. So let's move on to number 4. You guys ready?
Yep.
Do it.
All righty. The worst Star Wars film. Go.
Jedi.
Okay. Attack of the Clones.
Holy cow, Chris! Did you really just say Return of the Jedi?
I did just legitimately say Return of the Jedi.
He's gonna pull a third point. Or
I'm
third.
a little
Yeah,
shocked
whatever.
right now. My jaw literally is on the floor. Wow. All right, Matt, you get this one first. Go.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars movie ever because look at the love story. The love story is absolute garbage. There's nothing good in this movie at all. Anakin is horribly casted and it's a bunch of wooden acting in it. I think if you are a fan of the Star Wars movies and you go into Attack of the Clones and you see this is your Anakin that, is in his 20s or 30s, well, 20s, you should be disgusted with George Lucas.
All righty. Ready, Chris? And go.
That's all fair, but here's the thing. Return of the Jedi was the first big disappointment and is arguably the worst Star Wars film because it has the most potential squandered in a single film because it starts off with a scene that goes absolutely nowhere. It's the whole Jabba's palace bit. You don't need that. None of that has any relevance to the current story. The Ewoks have more relevance to the film, and they're the worst part of the film, hands down. The only redeeming factor in Return of the Jedi is the scenes between Luke, Vader, and the Emperor, but guess what? That's only about 15 minutes of film. And the score, arguably, is the worst of the 7 films. Arguably, the only saving grace is the effects. Outside of that, it's a rehash of the original film in terms of we have to blow up the Death Star, yada, yada, yada. There's a lightsaber fight, yada, yada, yada. There's some cool monsters on Tatooine, yada, yada, yada. It's too much rehash, and it's just not good.
Chris, you're awesome, but I think you're going to get a lot of hate for this.
I know. And when I was a kid, this was my favorite.
I love the movie.
As do I.
Yeah, I love the movie. I mean, that father-son thing I had when I was a kid, personal things with my dad. But I know, yeah, okay. So let's get into the 20-second rebuttal. And Matt, are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
Okay, so you say the beginning, scene is pointless, but how is it pointless when it's the scene that involves saving Han Solo? How is it, pointless when it's getting everybody free who's captured? It leads up to that. Also, it has probably the greatest fight in any Star Wars movie ever in that movie.
Reset.
Reset?
All right. Time.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Time. My bad.
Oh.
Ready, Chris? And go.
First off, the best fight in any Star Wars film is Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Episode 3. Second off, it's pointless because we don't need to see the rescue of Han Solo, because it could have been better if he was either not there in 6 or if they had just rescued him off screen. We didn't have to go through that long slog of monster after monster after monster, yada, yada, yada.
All right, 10 seconds. Ready, Matt? And go.
So you would see so many fans of Star Wars getting upset if it was just Han Solo being saved off screen. Also, sand.
Time. Whoa. All right. This is all to you, Chris. If you get this, man, you tie it up. All right, you ready? And go.
One last point I want to make. There's no tone consistency in the film. It's trying to be happy, then sad, then angry, then all over the place. At least Attack of the Clones is consistent.
Time.
That's just
all
like
right.
sand.
Chris gets the point. That last thing, man, that sold me. Here's the thing. I was on Matt, I was on your point for the first two, even the 20-second rebuttal. And he gave the last 10 seconds the best. I got to give Chris the point, which means we are going into the speed round after this. Holy crap, guys. This is a fight. Damn. But I mean, here's the thing. I loved everything you pointed out, Matt. I loved everything you pointed out. I think I was on board with you for the first 20 seconds, and then the last 10 seconds, when you said one word, and I was in on that. And then when he said 2-2, guys, all righty. We are going into the speed round after this. This is a fight that I think people will remember for a very good first episode.
This will be a day long remembered.
Alrighty. Here we go. Number 5. Where do you think, from guessing, will Rogue One will rank among the Star Wars films? Chris, I'm going to give you the first one. Go.
For me, it's going to rank somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say below Empire, New Hope, and Revenge of the Sith, but above the prequels and Jedi. It's going to be, and above Force Awakens. It's going to be in the upper echelon of sorts, but still going to be in the middle. I don't predict this film being better than the best of the films. I predict this being a good film with a good score, good cast, good script, but I do not see this being the best, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, Matt, and go.
It's definitely not going to be the best, and I thought about it for a while, but I think it's going to land at the number 3 spot with Empire and A New Hope ahead of it. And the reason why I think that, I thought about it back and forth, and I love The Force Awakens, but this movie already feels different. It feels different. I think they got maybe better writers involved with it. It's going to be a new story, so we won't have to rely on, the same old stuff. And yeah, I love Revenge of the Sith, but it still has wooden acting. It has some other problems with it too. This is not going to have wooden acting, I have a feeling. So I'm going to say 3rd.
Okay. All right, 20-second rebuttal, Chris, and go.
You're going to say a line like, "This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel," is not wooden acting. That is some of the worst dialogue, arguably, since I don't like sand. The thing is, this film does look like it's going to have a lot of great effects and a great score. However, the main problem with this film it has going in is tying in to A New Hope without being forced.
Time. Alrighty, Matt, and go.
Well, wooden acting doesn't have anything to do with bad dialogue. Bad dialogue can be spoken with great acting. But like I said, it's going to have great visuals. It's going to be great acting, I think, overall. And I think it's slightly going to be better than The Force Awakens. And I think Gareth Edwards is going to do a good job with it.
Time. Alrighty. Let's get into
The problem is you and I have the same points.
Chris?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the same thing. But
Exactly. This is where the 10-second rebuttal is going to count the most. You guys ready? And go.
Darth Vader is going to be the saving grace of this film, and that's the simple put of it.
Alrighty. All right, Matt. And go.
Let's look at what everybody's seen of it so far, how different, unique it is. It's going to have the different feel. It's going to be a war movie, and that's something Star Wars has never really
Fine.
had. And I think that's going to be the tipping point.
Alrighty. I'm going to give
I
the
could go
point to
either
Matt.
way.
Here-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was back and forth. But here's the thing, Chris. I think Matt had that 10-second better. And that's what I'm saying is I'm all for you, but I think there's a reason why we have these rebuttals. Is because these give you a chance to redeem yourself like Matt did with the best movie, whereas here's the reason why. I think he explained it a lot more. And I'm on you. I'm very curious about this movie. I'm extremely interested in seeing this movie. I'm so excited for this movie. I'm not sure what I think about it. And here's the thing. I was with you on the cheesiest minds, but I think he got me in the last 10 seconds how it's going to be a different movie. I'm going to give the point to Matt. Alrighty, guys, we're going to get into the speed round, which is going to be, I think you guys are going to give 10-second rebuttals after I say something. So we're going to do like we did with Empire and Attack of the Clones and Return of the Jedi. We're going to do that, and we're going to do 10 seconds, and then we're going to do 5. So I'm going to give you guys each a list of things I can think at the top of my head. But here we go. All right, so guys, in the saga movies, which is the worst character?
Jar Jar Binks.
Tarkin.
Whoa, okay.
Oh, whoa. All right. So I'm going to give this to
I can
Matt.
see that,
10
actually.
10 seconds, guys. This speed round's where it all matters. 10 seconds and go.
All right, Jar Jar Binks has the worst dialogue out of any character. He's the most annoying character out of any other, and it really got close to being a one of those Disney Channel shows.
Ready, Chris? And go.
Tarkin is way worse than Jar Jar because unlike Jar Jar, who has a character arc throughout the prequels, Tarkin has no arc. He is a one-note character throughout the film.
Time. Damn. Alrighty. 5 seconds. And ready, Matt? 5 seconds. Go.
Jar Jar causes problems for everybody, but Tarkin actually got things accomplished in A New Hope.
Ooh. All right. 5 seconds. Ready, Chris? Go.
Jar Jar only caused problems on a local level. Tarkin caused problems on an intergalactic level.
Ooh.
Yeah, he caused problems for all
See,
of them.
I was with Matt from each 10 seconds until that. I mean, I was with you a lot, too, because it was back and forth. But I'm going to give the point to Chris. I think that 5 seconds, man. That 5 seconds, like, it went like that. Like, that 5 seconds, I think, really helped him. Because I was on your side, Matt, for, like, most of that. But I think that 5 seconds
And yes,
really
technically speaking, Matt's answer was the right one. So for me, it's like, who can I argue is technically a worse character? And if we're talking strictly films, Tarkin.
But, I mean, I think he gave me a better 5 second rebuttal than you did, Matt. And what's the score? 3-3, I believe.
It is tied at 3.
All right, so if somebody gets over, like, 5 or 6, the goal is 6 for the win. And, alrighty, so the next question is, what is the best scene in Star Wars history? Go.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
I just thought it at the top of my head, by the way, folks.
The best moment in any Star Wars movie?
Ever.
You were the chosen one!
Oh, boy.
You gave me a heart attack. You gave me a heart attack. That scared the crap out of me.
I'm going to say Vader versus Luke, round 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. That scared the crap out of me.
Oh, dare you! Your brother, Anakin.
You know, it's kind of funny, Beer. I'm looking at your picture right now, and you kind of look like Hayden Christensen. And I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
I know, I do. I just can't get into Star Wars, or else my whatever career I would have would be gone.
Oh my gosh, Chris, that scared the crap out of me. Oh. Alrighty. This is going to be one to remember, folks. 10 seconds for you, Chris. Who was last, Chris or Matt?
Matt was last.
Okay, so Chris, you will go first. 10 seconds and go.
The reason that Obi-Wan pouring out his heart to Anakin after defeating him is the best scene in the Star Wars films because there's so much raw passion. The music is so perfect. The effects are so perfect. Everything about that scene is perfect.
10 seconds to you, Matt. Ready? Go.
All right. Luke versus Vader round 2 did not just have one fight, it had 2 fights. Not only was Luke fighting Vader, he was also fighting his interest in joining the dark side.
Time. All right. 5
seconds.
I think I heard that all really well. It cut out a little bit. Chris, did you hear it really well? I could hear it.
I heard it pretty well.
All right, 5 seconds. And ready, Chris, and go.
The reason the Revenge of the Sith scene works better is it was filmed better. It was better filmmaking than the Return of the Jedi bit.
All right.
Luke almost went to the dark side both times. The reason why it was shot better was because it's a newer film.
All right. Okay. Alrighty. So I know the 5 seconds, they're a little rough. They're going to get a lot to get used to. So you can obviously tell folks by this. I'm going to go with Chris on this question. I think he gave it better. And I'm saying this to you, Matt. I think you did really well and you did really good. And I'm with you, but I think Chris just gave it a better thing. So I'm going to give Chris. What's the score now? 4-3?
4-3, yeah.
4-2. All right, guys. This is where it really lies down, guys. Can Chris get the last 2 questions right, or will Matt be coming back to the comeback? This is where it all matters, guys. The question for you guys after this, what was the worst moment in Star Wars history in the films?
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Introduction of Jar Jar Binks.
Luke reveals he's Leia's brother.
That was bad.
There's a burnt Return of the Jedi today, folks.
That was alrighty. Scene, I will admit.
Alrighty. Going against a movie I love. 10-second rebuttal. Ready, Matt?
That scene was a very weird scene when it introduces Jar Jar with all the creatures and stuff, and it also introduced the most hated character of all time. That's all I got right now.
All right, time. 10 seconds, Chris. Ready?
At least with the introduction scene, of Jar Jar, we at least had a decent scene. There was a good amount of suspense. There was some good action going on. It was a boring sit-down talking scene in Return of the Jedi when Luke.
Time. All right, 5 seconds. Ready, Matt?
Yeah.
Go.
At least that scene mattered. You could have got rid of Jar Jar and whole, and the whole movie would have been the same.
All right, Chris, this is where it lies, man. 5 seconds.
That's literally all I have right now.
The bridge scene in Return of the Jedi proves that George Lucas is okay with incest, and I'm not okay with that.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
How do you like them apples?
Well, I think we now know Rey's parentage. It's Luke and Leia's daughter.
That is the wrongest thing ever. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I am not editing that out.
It's probably true, though.
Please don't. Oh my gosh. I don't know where to go with this. I have no idea.
Incest or Jar Jar? What are you going to choose?
Incest or Jar Jar. That's the thing, folks.
That's the thing that we're coming out with. Incest. You know, in Star Wars.
That's the word of the week, kids. Incest. Don't. I gotta give the point to Matt.
Really?
That caught me so off guard, though. I think Matt gave a better description. It's so tough, though. It is so tough because that incest thing was like the best thing I think I've had all day. Oh my God. But so what's the score now?
Tied at 4.
Oh, if I could have thought about that, I would have chose that scene. instead of Jar Jar saying.
Alrighty. Which Star Wars character in the new trilogy that is not from the originals, just from guessing, do you think will have the biggest impact that is not Rey?
Finn.
Okay.
Poe.
Woo! Alrighty. So Chris did. Who did it last again? I'm sorry, I'm keeping track of this.
I went second last time.
Okay. So Chris, you're gonna go 10 seconds now.
Poe Dameron was the most underutilized character in the first film, so this time to capitalize on Oscar Isaac's success as a critically acclaimed actor, they're going to use him more often and make him more relevant to the story.
Okay. Matt, 10 seconds and go.
Actually, Captain Phasma was the most underused character in Force Awakens, and I think we're going to find out Finn is a Jedi in this movie, or at least has Jedi, abilities.
Time.
Force
5
sense.
seconds. Ready, Matt? Ready, Chris?
Going by canon, Finn or Poe's parents were actually Force sensitive. Finn has no ties to the Force.
Time. I didn't know that, actually. I really didn't know that. I haven't read some of the books. I read some of the books, but I haven't read all of them. I really didn't know that.
Yep.
Alrighty. Hey, ready, Matt?
Kylo Ren looking at Finn proves he has Force abilities, and also Poe was actually planned on being killed in Force Awakens.
Ooh. The thing that really got me was, here's what I'm thinking. I think that last quote that Matt said got me hooked, but I'm gonna go with Chris, and here's the reason why. The Force sensitive thing. That got me, I think, to the most character, because we'll get into the next question in a second involving more of this, but I think that was the question where I think Chris really got me. So I'm going to give the point to Chris, which means it is a 5-6. So what's going to happen now, guys, is if Chris gets his point, he is the winner, and he will go 1-0. If Matt gets his point, we will go 5-5, and we will go a sudden death match, which means they're going to give us a 5-second rebuttal for one question, and that will give the winner, which has never happened before. So the last question I'm going to give you guys, and this is the moment, you guys, this is one of the best matches, two of the best upcoming fighters, not only in Star Wars, but in fan movie fights. Here we go, guys. You ready?
Yep.
Which character in the Star Wars films, the next upcoming that isn't the original characters, will die first? Go.
Finn.
Hux.
Ooh. Okay. 10-second rebuttal for Matt. I think Chris first went first. So Matt, 10-second rebuttal, man. Here we go. Go.
All right, so Finn is going to be fighting, I think, in the Force or in Episode 8. He's going to have a lightsaber fight, and I think Snoke is going to kill him. I think Snoke and Finn are going to meet up at some point.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
10 seconds. You ready, Chris?
Finn has no business being near Snoke at all in Episode 8, whereas Hux, he's constantly there, and he's going to be killed by either Kylo or Snoke for some failure that he's going to make in an upcoming battle.
Alrighty.
All right, so Hux is not going to die. I don't think he's going to die. I think he's going to be tortured.
Okay. 5 seconds, Chris, and go.
Hux, beyond the first film, has no more use now that he and Kylo Ren are going to be separated, and they're not going to be fighting with each other constantly.
Ooh. Matt, what was the last question? What was the 5 seconds you gave me again?
Let me try to remember. I said I don't think Hux is going to be killed. If anything, he's going to be tortured.
And Chris, what was the last 5 seconds you gave me?
What I said was that Hux is no longer necessary to the story after Episode 7 because now Starkiller Base is gone and he and Kylo are separated.
That 5 seconds, Matt. That got me. I'm sorry, man, but that I think that 5 seconds proved everything. Your winner, 1-0 for fan movie fights, Chris Dohmen.
Thank you. Well, first off, I want to give all the props in the world to my opponent, Matt Beer. Great fight.
It was it's going to be remembered as one of the best. Matt, you had me right at that, but I think his 5 second thing, I think that got me.
Yeah. As soon as he said Hux, it's like, oh, wait, yeah. I forgot about him.
That's
I was
also
thinking
Well,
of the
Chris, how does it feel to be 1-0 right now? How does it feel to be 1-0 going into the fan movie fights?
It feels great. I just wish I was 2-0 going into the Schmoedown, but if I can make a little headway in both, I will happily accept that. So
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, guys.
No, don't be.
Those who don't know, I beat the #1 movie trivia Schmoedown champ, #1 contender, and I'm good. He's good. I won though. I'm just kidding. You gave it your all, Chris. You gave such a good match, Matt. You fought it to the very end. I'm telling you guys, for those fans who are going to be coming into this, newcomers, this isn't easy though. 10 seconds, 5-second rebuttals. Even ask these guys. It's not easy. It isn't easy at all. These things
caught me off guard.
So the question is now, because there's going to be the New Year episode where we're talking the best of 2016, will you two be competing for it? That is the question I think everybody is wondering right now.
If I'm available, I can certainly take the time.
I know Matt already told me that he will compete. So now the question just is Chris going to compete? That is the question, because we can shoot it a week early like we're doing with these. It matters about which time everybody has. And I'm going to try to get somebody who is in the film critic world, who is inspired by the big guys, to also do the best of the year. So that's going to be even tougher. I mean, I'm trying to get Austin Putnam. I'm trying to get, because he is one of the best newcomer guys I know. So he's a good friend of mine. I'm trying to get maybe Max Benson as well. It depends who I'm going to get right now. But I mean, Matt's already confirmed. Chris, I don't know if you can't make it, we can figure out time if you want to be like my fact checker or something. We can completely do that. But I know you're going to be coming back anyway.
Oh yeah.
Very soon. I know you'll be back very soon. I think this might end up being a rivalry between you two. I think there's something with guys. You're back and forth. I think you guys are going to end up being two of the best great fighters coming up. And I know, Matt, how do you feel right now? Because I know you're probably your head shaking a little bit over the win, but you had a really good win, man. You had a really good matches, but this is a really tough loss for you, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not mad or anything because, he gave really good points, a lot of really good points, especially that last one. And I think the Jar Jar thing, I really didn't know where to go with it after a certain point. And it seemed like he was more calm, when it came to doing the 5 and 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, you guys can know if you ever watch the fan movie Schmoedown, except for my win, he knows what he's talking about. Chris knows what he's talking about. He's really good in movie, and Matt is too. So I think for Star Wars, we'll maybe do another one someday where we get like a Star Wars episode 8, or we'll talk about a Star Wars episode maybe in the new year. Talk about Rogue One. I mean, that's the thing. We're going to talk about that in the future. All right, guys. Well, this has been one of the best shows I think I've ever done, just hosting. All righty. But that is going to end it for us, guys. If you guys have any questions that we can take for the New Year's episode or the 2017 as we're going forward, guys, tweet us at #FanMovieFights or at Chris Day. What was mine? Chris Day 1995. Where can people find you, Chris Dohmen? Thank you very much for being here, man. Where can they find you?
Thanks for having me, man. You can find me on my band at LSAR Band MN. Last Shot Redemption.
And we will be seeing you for the Christmas fights, and hopefully, Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at It's Matt Beer. You can also find me on YouTube here and also at That Movie Guy. And you can also find me in January kicking the shit out of this host right here in our little Schmoedown.
Hosted by me.
Anyway, guys, you can also look at us like Chris and Matt on movies. We do reviews every week, and we do videos, other stuff every week. We need to get a video done this week. And you also will see the fan movie fights here on Chris and Matt on movies. So if you guys want to talk to us, tweet us anytime, guys. That's going to do it for the very first episode of Fan Movie Fights. We will see you guys on Christmas. I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of beer on Christmas and eggnog. With that being said, guys, we'll see you guys then. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.